Bryan, Houston with Coach Randy McFarlin following the Class 4A Division II by-district game. White House wins it 42-32 over Ennis. That's the wildest football game I've seen in a week, Coach.
Yeah, it was wild. I tell you what, Ennis was a great football team, and I see that we helped their cause a little bit. We actually gave them 3 scores. A fumble return for a touchdown, an intercept return inside the 5, and then the fake punt, which really got me good. So out of their points, I think 21 of them were we kind of handed to them, and still held on and beat a good football team. So I think that says a lot for our kids. But yeah, very exciting. Came down to the wire. From one play, possible defeat, to the next play, you're up by 10.
It's incredible. I got to ask you about your defense, because your defense got pushed around a little bit by Ennis's running game. That's to be expected. They're huge, and yet they still find ways to make plays throughout that ball game the other night.
Well, Ennis, wing T, you do not see it a lot anymore in multiple formations and shifting. And, I just proud of our kids. We had a few misalignments that hurt us, but overall they did great. And during that last series, when Ennis called the timeout, you bring them over and say, all right, guys, the way you win playoff games is someone's got to step up and make the play. And I just looked at him and said, are you going to be the one to step up and make the play? Said that twice after both timeouts, and then after the end of the game, I said, all right, had 2 guys step up and make the play. Chris Reese came off the edge and hit the quarterback in the back, and then Brandon Beaton picked it up and go 60-something yards for the score. What a finish. It was exciting.
Have you ever had a game like that, with a play like that at the end of a ball game?
No, not quite. Had some fantastic finishes before, goal line stands, reserve victories and things like that, but not one that swung that much in back-to-back plays almost. They threw the ball in the end zone. Kid made a great catch, caught it, but his foot was out of bounds, and he fell out of bounds from possible defeat there to the win.
Yeah. And then the kid loses his poise and gets a 15-yard penalty, and it backs him up and puts him in a real tough position, and it enables your defense to make the great play at the end of the game.
Yeah, and talking to the officials, that was a tough call to make, but a lot of people don't understand that is you don't spike the football, and he had done it before and they'd warned him. The referee told me, I think he said, Coach, we did that because we had warned the kid before. He'd spiked it earlier in the game. So that's part of it, and you have to maintain composure all the way through.
And so what was going through your mind when Reese hit the quarterback, the ball comes out, and Beaton picks it up and goes the rest of the way?
Oh, just unbelief, disbelief. In situations like that, the stunt wasn't actually called by Chris. I told Chris, if they play fake, if you're committed to the run, don't try to retract and go back. Just if you're committed, go on. And Reese kind of looked over there at us, kind of glanced and go, and he went, and just tremendous play. He's done that before. I think Carthage game, very similar situation. And then for Brandon to pick it up, he caught the touchdown pass against John Tyler, and then a score here. That's 2 scores for him on the year. He's a little competition with his brother Evan, which is coaching at Coppers Cove. Brandon now has 2 scores to Evan's 1 score.
I love it. The other thing I got to tell you is that I've never seen a ball game where you had each half end with 2 of the most ridiculous plays I've ever seen. That touchdown pass from Mahomes to Cantrell on the last play of the half, what was supposed to happen?
Oh, good. I'm not sure I even know. On the play before, Pat, don't throw the ball back late over the middle. We've been there before, done that before. And then I think the scenario, we threw a little out route, got a little bit closer, then we were just throwing it deep, just kind of Hail Mary, and he was scrambling around, and I think I was yelling, just throw it out of bounds, just throw it out of bounds. And then he throws the touchdown pass. I've had that happen before, once before over in Lindale, a Hail Mary pass at the end of the game to win the game. But an incredible finish to a half, and that just set it up for the whole ball game. What a game. The best ticket in town is the White House Wildcats right now.
Well, if your heart can take it, you're right. It is good stuff. Wiley East beats Sulphur Springs 70-33. Were you surprised by that?
I was. It's kind of scary when you hear that score. And then you look at the game. Sulphur had some kids out. I don't know if it's grade issues or injuries. And Sulphur moved the ball on them. It was 14-14. at one point, and then Sulphur committed a lot of turnovers and did not play very well. And then Wiley East just took it and ran with it. Not to take anything away from Wiley East, they're a good football team. They've got 2 Division I receivers, a left-handed quarterback that's very good, and a running back that's very good. So they're a very talented football team offensively, and they put up the 70 points on a good Sulphur Springs team.
Tell me a little bit about what you know about Wiley East. It's a team we're not familiar with. We don't hear much about them around here, so what can you tell us?
Well, they're a new school. I think they tell me 3 years old. I don't know much about them either. The first time I ever heard of them. And all I know is what I've seen. They're kind of a spread football team, which I like a whole lot better than what coming off of the Ennis game. Defensively, they're much like we are. They base have a 4-man front, but we expect them to be in a 3-man front a lot. Like I say, they're very talented offensively, and but they've lost some games. But the teams they've lost to are good football teams. Lovejoy, which is still playing, Sherman, which is still playing. I think they've lost 3-1 more somewhere. But a program in the playoffs is that way. You don't know your opponents as well. All we have on them is what we swapped the game tape on. I don't know their coach. I don't know their personality. It's not like playing a Jacksonville or a John Tyler. We kind of know each other. So, but that's what playoffs are all about.
And the same thing goes for them. They don't know you guys well.
Exactly. We have our best offensive plays. We haven't run in a couple of weeks, and so they don't know us. They don't know what we hang our hat on through the 10-game season. We've swapped 5 game tape, and that's all they have.
Are we looking at basically White House versus White House?
They're a little bit different. They tend to sprint out more, throw little short passes. They throw it down the field. Some of our same routes, very similar. They have more of a tight end offense than we do. The number 6, he's huge. We call him Jason Witten already. They run out of a tight end spread more and move him around, but he's a good blocker, and our defensive ends are going to have their hands full on whipping him at the line of scrimmage. So they're a little different. They have a tight end. Other than that, we're very similar.
How do you guys do against their defense with your offense?
Well, offensive coaches said they did not think they're quite as good as Ennis. Ennis, once again, was a very good football team defensively. While East has 4 or 5 players that go both ways. And when we see that, we like that because our kids do not go both ways. We're up tempo. And in the course of 4 quarters, you can wear people down if they have kids attempting to go both ways.
Back to the game you guys played against Ennis the other night. One thing that I failed to mention was the fact that you had a 100-yard rushing game from Vincent Dunning. Nice to have him back.
Oh, Vincent's a big, strong, fast young man, and, yeah, we were glad to get him back. And I think even tonight you're going to see us use more of a Dunning-Holly combination in the backfield. Excuse me, give us 2 running backs to up our running game a little bit more even. Really? Yeah, if we can get 100 yards out of a running back, we're happy because that opens up our pass game.
Absolutely. Okay, so what are the keys to victory then?
In playoff games, turnovers, limit turnovers, and not let those 2 Division I receivers beat us. And that means they'll be doubled a whole lot, but limit those guys. I mean, they're going to make some catches. They're going to make some big circus catches. They're good. But not let those 2 guys beat us. And then offensively, execute our offense, give a good mixture of run-pass so that they can't just overload on our passing game or stack the line on a run. So that's critical. Offense should put up points, limit 2 receivers, and we should win.
Are we looking at a 70-63 ball game?
I certainly hope not. It's great. I don't care as long as we're ahead 1 when the final tick goes off the clock. But it could be a high-scoring game. It really could. That's the offense is designed for that. But like I said, as long as the Wildcats are 1 point ahead, we're fine with that.
Take it and run. Happy Thanksgiving, Coach.
Hey, same to you guys. We worked out Thanksgiving morning. Families are invited, so it's going to be a fun week.
Good deal. Thanks very much, Coach. Best of luck to you tonight.
Thanks.
All right, Coach Randy McFarlin getting ready for the ball game between White House and Wiley East on 99.3 Talk FM.